Are you ready for some real, authentic Mexican food? Then stay tuned. We're going to take a closer look at Javier's Mexican Grill.
Welcome back, or should I say bienvenidos. We're here at Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill, just newly opened this week in Marianna, Florida, right here on Lafayette Street. Long time coming. The restaurant has been working on this location for quite some months now, and they are open for business. If you're a regular viewer, you certainly know that. We're here to talk to Harley about maybe some of the new developments and talk a little bit about what you can expect when you come into Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill. And in the course of this show, maybe you'll learn a little bit more and get some really good and flavorful reasons for stopping here next time you go by. We'll be right back. Welcome back. As mentioned, we're here with Harley today at Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill. Harley, you opened this week. We stopped by a couple of times, took some photos, shot a little bit of video. You guys have already been busy. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be here in this new location in Marianna.
It's going great so far. I love working for Javier and his wife Emily. I love getting to know everybody here. It's just such a lively crowd. Everyone's just a joy to be around, and very funny group of people, that's for sure.
When we spoke to you last week, you said you were Hispanically challenged. You didn't have a lot of Spanish. I came in today, and you're cutting up with some of these guys in Spanish, and I think you're coming up to speed pretty well. What do you think about that?
Well, I appreciate you noticing. I've definitely been working very hard, but very poquito español.
And as long as you can say that or ask where the bathroom is, you can get by pretty much anywhere.
El baño, sí.
Javier's has been for a long time in Chipley. At one time had a restaurant in Marianna, but decided to take all that succeeded in the Chipley area as far as their authentic Mexican cuisine and just bring it over here to Marianna. They've got this high-profile location right here on the west side of town. We've pointed out that on Sundays, almost no restaurants are open here, and during the week, not very many on this side of town except for fast food. So if you want a sit-down meal, particularly if you want some authentic Mexican, great place to come. What has been the public response so far?
People love the location. People can't stop talking about the floors, which I guess, are just gorgeous. And everyone loves the food, the atmosphere, the people. It's just a great place to come. I really hope you'll come in and check us out.
Yeah, you mentioned the floors. That was sort of an unexpected expense. This building, a lot of people don't realize, at one time was 3 individual storefronts. Over the years, over time, the 3 were combined into a single restaurant space, but when they pulled up the old carpet, they found that they had a real mess, so they spent literally tens of thousands of dollars. But you're right, the floor is the first thing you see when you come in. When all the lights are on, you walk in, it shines. It's got to be a lot easier to clean. Is the floor something that people mention when they come in?
People go crazy over the floor. You have to come in and check it out. Beautifully done. Thank you so much, Sherwin-Williams, for the great work. We love it.
Yeah, so even if you only come to see the floor, probably worth the trip. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys are offering over here. Obviously, if you're a viewer of the show over time, you've seen us with Javier in the other location making some of their signature dishes. But you've got a couple here that sort of pique my interest. You've got steak and shrimp, and you've also got Pollo Loco Especial. Now, you've seen Pollo Loco, and Javier has prepared it in the other restaurant. But basically, it's a chicken dish with pineapple, but in this case, cooked inside a pineapple. Talk a little bit about that and how that's been received.
It's beautiful. It's delicious. It's above and beyond what you can expect from our Mexican cuisine. It's just amazing. I really recommend coming in, checking it out. Bringing out a dish served in a fruit drives people nuts. It's great. Come see us.
Yeah, it's pretty festive, but yet it's affordable and something that you can eat on a regular basis. So it's not like you're going to a gourmet restaurant and spending a lot of money. But you're going to get some of that gourmet, authentic Mexican food right here.
Yes, sir. Very affordable. Great place to dine. It's amazing. I'm eating here way more than I should every day, but it's delicious.
When we were here last time, we spoke to Javier. We talked to Skylar, the manager, and alluded to Memo, the new chef here. Memo actually worked for Javier in the other location at one point, but Memo has brought a lot of creativity to the table. And not only that, he's bringing some dishes that you typically wouldn't find in a Mexican restaurant. For instance, the steaks. I mentioned steak and shrimp. How have the steaks been selling at night so far?
Personally, I enjoy it. I love me some good steak and shrimp. People love it. They love the variety of both Mexican and some American cuisine. People love the variety. It's amazing.
Obviously, many people who live in the Chipley area travel to Marianna every day for work and vice versa. So lots of people over here in Marianna already were very, very familiar with Javier's, probably eat there on a regular basis. This is a brand new business. They wanted to be sure that people didn't think it was just Javier's number 2. It's a totally separate and individual business. It might carry the same name, but this is Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill. And the cantina part comes from right behind us here, what amounts to a sports bar. Now, Javier's in Chipley has a lot of big screen TVs. You actually have more and larger TVs. As I look around, those are on during the day, and people can see pretty much any sporting event. Do you allow people to actually request what they want to watch when they're here?
Absolutely. If you have a game you want to see, come in, let us know. We'll put it on for you.
And also behind me is the bar. So you're going to be offering beer and wine.
Yes,
so for
sir.
those of you who want to come out and enjoy a glass of beer or a glass of wine with your meal, you're now going to be able to do that here at Javier's Mexican Cantina. And it's also got a sports bar sort of motif, so that when the big games are on, Super Bowl, that sort of thing, I would imagine that you'll attract that nachos and beer crowd. They'll be able to come in
Yes.
and enjoy the big game on the Saturday. Have you had any response on that yet at all?
We've already had people calling in asking, hey, where's the alcohol? When's that coming in? So we're very, very excited. We actually start serving it this week.
Harley, I have to ask about your name. Is Harley actually your name?
Yes, Harley. Yep, I have my sister, and her name is Yamaha. I'm just kidding.
How did your parents come up with that?
They saw it and liked it. I wish it was some sort of cool story, like they own half the company, but no, they just saw it and they liked it. So here I am.
Now, how long have you been in the food service business?
I've been in the food service business since I was 15. I've been a server for about 2 years, and I love it. I love coming in every day, meeting new people, talking with everyone. It's very nice. I love it.
Now, obviously, you've worked in other places. How does Javier's stack up against those? And so far, what's your favorite part about it?
My favorite part about working for Javier is you really focus on the customers, and that is very, very important to me. It's nice to be able to talk with them, sit down. He's very, very sociable, and everyone just loves Javier.
And I'm glad you said that. One of the things that Javier and I always talk about anytime we interview is the fact that customers are number one. Customers always right. He actually is old-fashioned enough to really believe that, and he walks that walk every day. He typically, if he's in the house, he'll greet people many times by name. If you've been in more than once, typically they're going to remember your name. That's strong. That's important. People want to know that they're appreciated, that their business is appreciated, and when they walk in, they want that kind of family environment. It seems like that's what you've got here.
It's a great family environment. Javier loves greeting to people. You'll see him walk around, tell him how you think everything is. He loves hearing the feedback. We all do.
Now, we originally had advertised that we were going to be open about a week earlier than we were. At the end of the day, it was very important to Emily and Javier to make sure that everything was just right. So often people say, well, you better wait about 3 or 4 weeks before you try out that new restaurant. Make sure they get all the kinks out. Mm-hmm. Javier had a couple of things going for him. Number one, this was a tried and true formula that he was using here. He was doing basically the same thing that he's been doing with Emily and this staff for quite a few years, so they knew exactly what they wanted to do. The main problem was the building. There was a lot of refitting, a lot of refurbishing. The floors, for instance, a huge job. They completely rebuilt the kitchen. They don't have any booths, and we really liked that. It's very wide open. It's more like that authentic Mexican cantina. Have you had people come in and say, well, what happened to the booths, or this looks different than what used to be in here?
Oh, yes. People come in all the time asking, hey, where's the fried rice? And I have to be the one to tell them, hey, we have great authentic Mexican cuisine. We've actually gotten a couple customers that way. So it's very, very nice to be able to tell them, hey, it's a great restaurant. Come try us out.
So even though it was a week or 10 days delayed, nobody complaining about that. They're just ready to be here and enjoy some good food.
Oh, no. Well worth the wait. I can promise you that, sir.
What's been one of the more challenging parts of being part of a team opening up a brand new restaurant like this?
Just learning the flow of things. It's definitely a lot different from the places that I've worked, but I'm really catching on quickly, and everyone is such a help with me, and everyone's just such a help with everybody. You know, Emily, Javier, Skylar, my cousin, who you've interviewed, is just, they're all very helpful. A great group of people.
Part of being an authentic Mexican cuisine is the fact that there are authentic Mexicans working here. And so a lot of these guys have a little English, sometimes if any at all. So as we pointed out last week, you were sort of Hispanically challenged, and we're having something of a problem coming up to speed. Again, as I pointed out, it seems like you're doing that, but there's no option. And it's almost a total immersion method of learning Spanish. I would imagine give you 6 months, and you're going to be pretty fluid.
Oh, I sure hope so. Because es poquito español es no bueno.
Harley, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being part of this great establishment here. And hopefully we can touch base with you again maybe sometime down the road and get your take on how things are going.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been great.
Here again at Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill here on Lafayette Street in Marianna, Florida. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you certainly know all about Javier. You know all about Emily and the staff and what they stand for, the cuisine that they put out there, more importantly, the work ethic and their philosophy that the customer is always right. Check out Javier's Mexican Cantina and Grill here now in Marianna. An opportunity to enjoy all of that great Javier's cuisine, but with a twist. Now there's some signature dishes, brand new that we talked about, showing some footage of that right now. An opportunity to get a taste of Mexico without having to buy a passport, as they say, and hopefully you'll try it soon right here in Marianna. We'll be right back.